Emma Inns, and I'm the owner of Adora's Boutique. We're located in the Byward Market on York Street. First, I want to start by saying thank you for having me and having this opportunity to be up here and tell my story. So what Adora is we are a boutique, and we have 3 different kind of sections. One is fair trade from around the world, so it's designed by myself and a friend. And we do microfinance programs overseas and set up programs to help with poverty. My programs are in Tibet, and a friend has an organic farm in India. And the other third, I guess, of the shop is Canadian designers who are using recycled and organics. And all of our designers, we have exclusivity with them in Ottawa and some in Ontario. And the third section is vintage. Adora is in its 4th year of business. So I have kind of a different perspective maybe than these guys. And we're doing different businesses as well. So how I got started is kind of a different way. I was traveling the world, wandering around, trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life, and I knew that I really liked traveling, and I was in Asia and really had fallen in love with the culture and the people there, and I decided to try and get a job there. So I came back to Canada. I studied tourism, which has to do with business. So, and I got a job in tourism, working in Asia, doing ecotourism and setting up infrastructure for ecotourism. So I was doing this, and I realized that I was working in China to begin with, and I was not really happy working there. So I asked for a change, and I was given Tibet. And as soon as I went to Tibet, my life was completely changed. I met people that had endured so much suffering, and they're living impoverished lives, and they're so happy. And I knew that I wanted to do something for the rest of my life that was going to help these people. So I had a little bit of money, and I did a mini OCLF, and I did a microloan myself to one small village in northern Tibet. We started with 6 people and 1 sewing machine and enough fabric to make 1 table runner. And because I was doing ecotourism, I brought my group to this village and presented the 6 people and said, who's going to buy the table runner? And someone did. And we sold it for enough money to get fabric to make 2. And so it grew and grew and grew. And 3 years later, my mom called and said, you have to get this stuff out of my house. It's full, you need to come back, this is not working for me. So I came back to Canada not really knowing what I was going to do, and I went to the bank and was like, hey, I have all this stuff, I want to have a business, give me some money. And yeah, they laughed at me. So I was pretty disappointed, and I didn't really know where to turn. And I actually was a member. I got the Y program, but it was a different program then. I think it's now finished, the YEP program. So it's for young people in getting started. And this is where I got business classes and the OSEB program.
OSEB.
Yes, OSEB. Sorry. Has the same kind of base, I believe, that you get business classes and you get some money. So this is how I kind of realized, okay, I can make this work. And what I ended up doing was I started as outside doing a stand in the market. And this went really well. I was selling my Tibetan stuff, and it was going really well. As the weather started to get colder, I realized I gotta make a plan here. And the YEP program was enough money to pay my bills, but I also, through the YEP program, I heard about the Canadian Youth Business Foundation, which is partners with OCLF. And I applied, and same kind of process that you go through with OCLF. You have to present your business plan and your idea in front of a panel, and I got approved. So and at the same time as being approved, I found a retail location in the Byron Market, and it was an affordable rent, and so we moved into this little tiny shop, and during the summer, I realized that even though my heart was in Tibet, and I love Tibetan things, and there's not a huge market for it, and I think this is a really important thing when you're getting into business, to be able to diversify and realize when something's not working, you need to change it a little bit. And so the base of Adore It is nothing's made in China, nothing is made by slaves, and using my ethics behind everything that I sell at the store. So we opened I opened the shop, and just recently in October, I just moved to a new store that's double the size of what I started with. So it's so with getting started and writing a business plan, and finding all of these stepping stones towards starting out, I think you really need to, what are things that you need? You need to believe in yourself, and you need to, when people tell you that you're crazy and that's a really ridiculous idea, you need to just believe that you can do it, and you have to be willing to change and be open to suggestions. But I think that hardworking people can do anything. There's also so many resources within Ottawa that we are so lucky to have. OCLF is amazing. The Entrepreneur Center at City Hall is an amazing, amazing resource that you can go and just, even if, when I was starting out looking for a shop, I wasn't sure what sort of questions to ask or how to deal with a real estate agent, and the Entrepreneur Center at City Hall was such an invaluable resource for me. And I've had a lot of challenges. I really thought that money was easy, and that banks really supported young people in business, and I really appreciate coming to events like this and people telling you that you can't just show up with a business plan and believe that someone's going to give you some money. So having resources like OCLF and the Y program are so incredible, and if you can utilize those, and just by asking questions too. Through the CYBF program, I have a mentor, and for me that has been Sandy Twinwell, my mentor, and her specialty is numbers. Mine is not. So with me, Sandy's been an amazing resource for me. I know what people want to buy, and I'm really good at choosing dresses, but when it came to the number side of things, I felt so overwhelmed, and I've been given this opportunity to ask someone questions. And I would say, even if you're involved in a program that a mentor is not part of the requirements, I would find a mentor who has strengths in your weaknesses. For me, Sandy's been amazing, and the number part of business is important, and you need to be able to balance your books, and you need to be able to understand your books, and you can't be good at everything. That's another thing that's really important to remember, that nobody is perfect at everything. So you have to be okay with saying, hey, I struggle with this, please help me. So I feel so lucky and blessed that I can wake up every day and be happy that I'm going to work and know that what I'm doing is helping to change the world and just. And I really think that if you believe in yourself and if you're willing to put yourself out there and have days where you just want to cry because everything isn't working out, it will work out in the end. And if you believe in yourself and what you're doing and you're willing to work for it, I think that anything is possible. So I think I am good for time, probably good. So thank you so much for having me.